This XFL Picks Week 7 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. Bet 100, get 100 at WynnBET.com or download the WynnBET app and start winning today. State restrictions apply. We're also brought to you by Sports Gambling Podcast Final Four Watch Party this Saturday. Sweat out your bets with us and win prizes over on youtube.com/sports gambling podcast. Plus, make sure to fill out our listener survey for a chance to win a $100 SGPN gift card. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survey.
This is Jerry Glanville, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, brother.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Sorry, a little frantic there. I had forgot to put the words XFL Insider before our guest's name in the social media, so I had a quick pivot.
Well, joining us, we do have a special guest, but in studio as always, talking extreme football. Colby Dant, aka the Dantabase, back from his 1-game suspension. What's up, Colby?
Very special guest, Colby is not special guest.
How you guys doing? I mean, look, should we just get right into why there's not a team named the Gazebos in the XFL?
Well, yes. We're gonna bring on our guest in just a second, but Colby was going before we started the show. He's like, "You guys ever try and spell?"
No, not before. Like as we're starting the show, Colby always interrupts us with some random thing. And today,
well, it was there from yesterday on my search engine.
And today it was what Sean was. Sean, you can.
Yeah, he goes, "You guys ever try and spell gazebo?" We're like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, I was trying to explain to my wife what a gazebo is, and I'm trying to spell it, and he spelled it. He spelled gazebo, C-U-Z,
and it actually pulled up Google Images of a bunch of gazebos.
Oh,
so
yes.
It actually worked.
C-U-Z-E-B-O.
Yes, and
gazebos.
And the reason why we did this is I believe it was we were watching something. It was either South Park that talked about how no one knows how to spell that.
Yeah.
So then I Googled what I thought would be the correct way of spelling that.
You're not
which was way off.
You're not uniquely stupid in this case, unfortunately. Commonly enough stupid that Google was like, "Yep, that works."
Commonly stupid enough if they're talking about it on fucking South Park, right? And then the fact that this would be a better name than half the names in the XFL.
Oh wow.
If you said the Seattle Gazebos, it'd be a lot fucking cooler.
I'm not a big Sea Dragon fan. I am a Guardian fan. Any organization.
Come on. I'm wearing the shirt. It's beautiful. This is a great name. It's not a land dragon. It's a sea dragon. By the way, Colby, a gazebo is just a French word for dome. So I don't want to hear anything from you.
Well, there's a reason why I don't know how to spell it because I never fucking had one, nor will I ever. All right.
Well,
only open air gazebos for Colby.
I am more of a pergola fan myself.
Pergolas are just basically hobo stuff.
What do you mean? It's open air stadium. It's like
no,
SoFi.
I hate pergolas.
Why?
Because
is that a layer of hell? Is that a layer of hell?
Is it a bird shit problem?
No, it doesn't actually block the sun that well.
Okay, maybe it's just your pergola.
No, I don't have a pergola. But again, you either have shade as a roof or you don't.
Interesting take.
Yeah.
Okay.
Joining us here, XFL Insider and one of the co-hosts on the XFL Gambling Podcast, Mr. Justin Mark. What's happening, J Mark?
Look, I'm glad I was not on camera during that because I was dying. Because when Colby said that, I kind of expected he was probably close, like KAZ, but CU. That I was not.
I think I started out
really
with the K.
Okay.
I think I started out with the K, but this is my search engine. Still, my page is up from last night. And when I went to C, that's the last thing because all the images showed up. So I was able to show my
all
wife
those beautiful gazebos.
Yeah, exactly.
We're up there. J Mark, real quick, gazebo or what would you rather go with? What structures do you like, Ryan? Those
Well, I wasn't. I would say I'm definitely in California. I would be more a fan of a pergola than a gazebo. I don't think I'm kind of with Colby, and that's why I like SoFi open air. You want the open walls. You want
sucks.
Pergola,
terrible.
Pergolas are okay if they're actually filled out.
I hear what you're saying. Sometimes they're not designed to have a ton of shade, but it's really just how you structure the roof. And to me, the only concern there is you have a place for birds to sit and potentially shit on you.
Yes.
So
that's
maybe gonna put some.
They say that's good luck.
Or if you get rain, it goes right through.
They sell these strips you just throw on top, make it impossible for birds to perch up there.
Again, like if it rains, what's the point of having a pergola?
I mean, again, we're in Southern California. You heard me preface it with Southern California.
Massive amounts of rain. You got snow this season.
I don't see a lot of gazebos out in Southern California either.
Wow.
J Mark, not only do you host the XFL Gambling podcast, you're also the host of the Old Fashioned Fantasy Football show on the Fantasy Football SGPN Fantasy Football feed, and spinning up your own feed. So walk us through. If people haven't heard the show already, what can they expect from Old Fashioned Football?
Yeah, so it's kind of it's not unique in the fact that it's fantasy football. I mean, there's a ton of fantasy football shows, right? So we kind of thought, how do we make it unique? Well, the first thing is I co-host it with my wife. She's a co-host on there. She's a very competitive person in fantasy football. In fact, a lot of my friends have been like, why did you invite her into the league? We're tired of losing to her.
Wow.
Which is always kind of funny. But yeah, so I co-host with her, and people are always like, well, they're probably always getting along. No, we get pretty feisty, whether it be about football or we also talk about whiskey. That's the other unique part of the show. We're drinking an old fashioned, and we're reviewing a whiskey that's in the old fashioned. So we talk our fantasy football while we're drinking. And then at the end of the show, we kind of wrap it up talking about the history of whatever whiskey we were drinking, the distillery, and then kind of review it on its own. So
love it, but there needs to be a segment where you actually throw old fashioned football into the old fashioned and talk about maybe an HB Slam and the difference through the B gap and the way it's progressed over 30 years.
Colby, real football guy, knows what a B gap is.
Which, by the way, I really did enjoy the as I was setting some of this stuff up. It's not old fashioned football, Colby. It's old fashioned.
Oh,
like a drink.
Is that like a gazebo?
You're a classy bartender.
So I do love old fashioned.
J Mark, has any on air arguments ever spilled over into real life arguments with your wife? Like you're just walking around the house and go, really, you think you have Devonta Smith lower than I don't know, Quez Watkins, some sort of crazy bad take your wife has that creates actual arguments?
It's all right. It's usually me with the bad takes. I was really high on Kyle Pitts going into this year, and she was not. No. And she made fun of me every week for it. Like after every week, it's like, you still like Kyle Pitts? How's that going for you? You feel pretty stupid about that?
We need to have her on the podcast.
Does she bring it up in say you're trying to choose a place to go out to eat, and you're just like, well, I was trying to go there. Well, you're stupid. You thought Kyle Pitts was gonna be fire. You know, like,
that would be trouble. I think. The fantasy space is a safe place for me. I don't know if I need. I mean, imagine getting nagged on your Zeke takes, Sean.
Well, I mean, my Zeke takes have been rock solid for a couple years now.
Our Kenny Galladay versus Zeke, who finds a team first? It sounds like
a race to the bottom.
Zeke's going back to the Cowboys.
Can we talk about speaking of the race to find a team? Can we play the X-Files music?
I heard about this before the show.
Okay, well, first off,
in the pre-production meeting,
I had thought about this, but I know me, J Mark, and CJ had kind of talked about this, and then you have our buddy Mark over at Yahoo had also DM'd me talking about this. So Luis Perez gets traded to Arlington.
You have an XFL network on Twitter?
We do.
Yeah,
you should get in there. You should get in there, man. It's like one big gazebo of fucking XFL fans. All right, and they just got the MVP of the USFL, Victor Bolden, who they picked up, which I don't understand. How they were able to pick him up. If you're going from worst record that has the first pick, I don't understand why they would whiff on Victor Bolden. And also, so they trade Luis Perez today for a linebacker who's basically never played. This just reeks. I mean, look, I have an Arlington future, but I can't see that franchise ever. Why would San Antonio trade Perez? He looks so good for the past couple of weeks. It just makes no sense. The value for a linebacker that hasn't played, it just reeks of a fix, in my opinion.
Follow the money.
J-Mark, talk to me and tell me you agree with me here.
No, I do absolutely agree with you. The only thing I can think of is the XFL stepped in and said, like, hey, we have all these storylines about Huntley is this really high-paid quarterback in the XFL, and he's basically sitting on the bench. We need to get him on the field. How do we do that? Well, the only way they do that is get rid of Perez.
Look, I got a future in Arlington, and I thought that I still think that thing sucks. But I
was gonna say you've touted that twice. Maybe don't tout horrible picks.
Well, I mean they are in the playoffs. It started today.
Oh.
But my point is that that's the problem maybe with the league owning all the teams, because this if I'm like San Antonio or one of the other teams, Orlando, I'm like, what is this shit? We're still alive for the playoffs. And you're just like stacking their team.
Who on Vegas has who decides actually to trade?
Yeah.
The quarterback. Is there a general manager for the Vegas Vipers?
Clearly, probably the second best quarterback in the league if you had to rate the quarterbacks this year. I know he got benched last week, but that's just because Rod Woodson has no fucking idea what he's doing.
Hey, Rod Woodson has never had a losing season as a head coach. Now maybe it starts this year because it is his first season as a head coach.
And let's peel back the curtain some more, because I got really worked up. This is the most worked up I've been about an XFL game ever in my life. And so
wait, which XFL? I love how Colby always
even
calls
1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, and 3. As if anyone
They're
has
like
any idea.
Terminators, man. All right. Number 2 was the best one, Sean.
Yeah.
But so Vegas just got destroyed by the Battlehawks. The Battlehawks gave up from Abram Smith the week prior. They gave up over 9 yards a carry from Abram Smith. As a team, the defenders rushed for over 7 yards a carry, right? And that's been the story for the Battlehawks rush defense all year. Rod Woodson, I paused the game at 5 minutes left in the fucking third quarter because Rod Woodson had only ran the ball 5 times. Where? It's almost mind-boggling. It's like,
tanking?
did you study any film? Did you study any film?
That is my favorite moment in on social media is Colby yelling at the Vegas Vipers social media manager to run the ball.
It's just, I mean, dude, I'm talking ankle biter level. When we played football, I feel like my coach would have do a better job of saying, hey, their clear weakness is run defense.
Well,
no, let's throw the ball 800 times into a decent pass defense.
I think the XFL is saying we have to improve ratings. Look around us. What are other leagues doing? Look at the NBA. We need a tank narrative.
I don't think their ratings are doing good, are they?
I think they're doing better than the XFL.
True, fair.
And I think the tank narrative is real. Play that X-Files music one more time. Because a simple Google search will garner the following results, and hopefully Google's not failing me like the gazebo incident with Colby. Arlington Renegades, which by the way the coaches are the GMs.
Oh, okay.
FYI. But who owns the Arlington Renegades? Well, it's Alpha Aquico LLC, Redbird Capital Partners, Dwayne Johnson, and Danny Garcia.
And that's where the hub is located.
Hold on. Who owns the Vegas Vipers? Alpha Aquico LLC, Redbird Capital Partners, Dwayne Johnson, Danny Garcia.
Yes,
they're in. The fix is in.
What I'm saying, you can't have this.
They traded with themselves.
They did because they know Arlington's making the playoffs. I think that's it.
Hey, you're looking to bet on the Extreme Football League college basketball Final Four. We're doing a Final Four watch party all day. You know, we're going to be giving out live bets from WinBet. Bet big, win even bigger. YouTube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. And before you do that, make sure you sign up over at winbet.com or download that Win Betting app. Bet 100, get 100, limited state availability. NBA, NHL, the Extreme Football League, NIT, whatever you want to get down on, they got you covered. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you or somebody knows gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. And hey, also the Masters Stadium Swim Contest. Still a chance to win a 3-night stay at the Circle Las Vegas. Hang out with us. Watch the Masters over at Stadium Swim. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/golf party to get your submission there.
I mean, and not don't undersell the idea, Sean, that the snorkel mask will be there.
No, the snorkel mask will be there.
You can even take it for a ride if you want, free of charge. Free snorkel mask rides.
J Mark, so like when it comes to handicap in the XFL, do you have any I know Colby loves his yardage markers or his yardage metrics. I also enjoy the power rankings where CJ had Monday Night Football as the #1 team in the XFL power rankings. But what do you use when you're breaking down these games?
Yeah, little A, little B, I guess. So I like looking at the defense yards allowed. That's kind of where I start and go from there.
Do you have access? Do you have access to Colby's proprietary data?
I do not. No.
Oh,
He's gonna keep that edge.
Well, I mean,
That's
look,
right.
we've been going at it. He no-showed on the show last night. Guys. We'll talk about that. No-showed. All right.
Is this retaliation for your suspension? Are you taking it out on Jamar?
Look, all I know is that there's one team that can run the ball in this league. No one else tries, and that one team's undefeated.
Yeah.
Well, Colby, as a yardage guy, you hate the Vegas Vipers, but yet the Vegas Vipers lead the league in yards per attempt in the passing game.
Yes, and they just traded that guy that did that for a
Very
linebacker
confusing.
that's never played, and they also give up a ton of points, Sean. They're defensively, they're terrible. Yeah. So I mean, they're a mess.
Does it make you mad? Like this, Sean? You know what this feels like? This feels like when someone makes a really fucking stupid trade in a fantasy football league, and one owner just
the integrity of the game is thrown out the window.
One owner like leaves the league and completely. I'm going to bench my players for the rest of the season.
I mean, that's clearly, I think, the flaw right now is they threw in a bunch of players that should probably never be coaches. Rod Woodson clearly proving that last week.
I mean, and you can see like how it's kind of a good experiment in the variance of, you know, having the right level of rah-rah and catching the right players can trick people, but generally this is how it goes.
Yeah. But
Would you say any of the former players are showing any sort of coaching acumen?
No. None.
Yeah. I do notice, even though they haven't won a game in the XFL, J Mark, you have the Guardians as your 5th ranked team ahead of the Renegades, ahead of the Brahmas, ahead of the Vipers. Walk us through your logic here. 0-6 to me seems like automatic 8 seed. For reference, they did not make CJ's power rankings because it's 8 teams, and Monday Night Football was the #1 team. So Guardians, you would assume would be the 9th team there. Why are you higher than market on the Guardians?
Yeah, I knew that would probably get me called crazy by some people, but look, since Dormady got his unsuspension reinstated,
you could say
everything. Yeah, Stormin' Dormady.
Stormin' Dormady Beach, baby.
Yeah. Ever since he's come back, which was, I guess, 3rd quarter of 2 games ago, their offense has looked a lot better. I think they just need to make a couple more tweaks and they could be winning games. Now, the challenge is they go against DC this week, so it's hard to see them winning that game. But just offensively, they've looked like a completely different team. I think they're starting to put it together. Their defense hasn't been terrible either the past couple games. I think he's got the wheels moving the right direction, and more so it's just kind of a fade of the Vipers, the Brahmas, and the Renegades. Those teams are terrible.
Fang gang.
Yeah, they're just terrible. So I guess more so it's a fade of them as well.
Look, I was a guy that's been on the Guardians the past 3 weeks, covered on all 3 of them, but at the same time, like, they still have mind-boggling, like, how many block punts does this team give up? They've only had 10 guys on the field like 5 times on a
Is that
punt.
coaching?
Yeah, and so that's why I'm like
the Guardians coach might be the worst coach in the XFL, and it seems like a league where coaching matters.
I could do a better job.
I can't have them. They're not in my top 7, Orlando.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you mess that up. And then the worst part about this league with everyone mic'd up is you hear Terrell Buckley going, "Huh? Who? How many players? Why? It's like, dude, you're the head coach. You should know this stuff. You know, we saw it, dude."
All right, here's the deal. XFL, you're listening, obviously. Not many people talking about the XFL. You're obviously listening to us. Head coach, 7 years head coaching experience, multiple championships. All right, Colby's going to coach the offense. J Mark's going to get the defense. Sean has special teams,
Love it.
strength and conditioning.
Let's go.
And strength and conditioning. Look out.
And Patty C will be somehow involved. Haven't figured that out.
Entertainment director.
Yes.
Craft services.
But look, I know we've talked.
The team's stats have gone way downhill since they started consuming Panda Express
Pre-game
3 times
Panda.
a day.
That's what he
Okay,
called.
get together, guys. Got a pregame chow mein. Hey, we win this. We're gonna dump the orange chicken. Let's go.
Dude, pregame chow mein probably still beats the Guardians.
Well, I would say, and how do we not have, honestly, as a league that probably could use some money, why do we not have the Panda Express? They actually sound like a team.
They do. They do.
Better
name than half of these.
instead of the Midnight Express, the Panda Express, black and white uniforms, really sharp, crisp.
San Francisco's known as the Rice-A-Roni treat.
Yeah.
You know what I
And you
mean?
could
Let's
get-
go with the San Francisco.
Fans could get instead of thunder sticks, they'd be like bamboo sticks.
I don't know if you can say rice-a-roni
come
anymore.
on.
The sake snake, come on, it writes itself.
Dude, but we've complained.
Just tiny little sake glasses.
Which, by
going
the
through
way,
stadium.
you know, if Japanese baseball fans catch, and by the way, they do play football over there too. Catch a glimpse
College football too.
of the beer snake and hear Sean say the sake snake. That's a real thing.
Well-
Japanese fans go fucking hard.
Perfect transition. If you got a bad case of the sake snake, again, some people call it whiskey dick. If you're drinking abroad, you might be dealing with some sake snake, where you can't get the snake is not striking at full capacity. This is where Sword Vitality can help you. Unsheath your sword, become the samurai you always dreamed of. Increase blood flow in ways that help you thrive as a man in the bedroom. Sword Vitality can increase your stamina. You don't have to hide it. You can be proud of it. A lot of guys have trouble getting the sword. You get older, it's harder to get the sword out of the sheath. The sword might not be fully forged, and this thing will be rock hard. Again, I enjoy erections. If you're listening to this, you probably also enjoy erections. Again, if you're not getting a great erection, you're missing out. It's time to become a Sword Vitality man. Swing your sword with pride, unsheath your sword, and head over to swordvitality.com. Promo code SGPN for a nice discount at checkout. That's swordvitality.com. Promo code SGPN.
When watching this league,
Yes.
I know me and you have been watching the games here at the studio, some of them, and we've said, man, they're too mic'd up. I think they're too mic'd up.
It is, and again, to the XFL broadcast,
Play the
Kramer
lawnmower.
Kramer was kind of joking about the offer to coach, but I am 100% dead serious. Anyone at the XFL, we will fly to the game on our own dime. Let us do the radio broadcast. The fact that I'm listening to the game on Sirius satellite radio and they're just playing the TV audio, it's so hard to listen because they go, "Wow, look at that!"
Right.
I can't. I'm listening on the radio.
Sean, myself, and Colby. Sean, myself, and Colby in the studio. J Mark on the sideline.
Oh, I like it.
Done.
I like
it was CJ on the sideline too. Actually,
CJ up with the fans
in the Boogermobile.
No, yeah, that's good.
I love that.
That's good. See, that's what they're missing. They need the fan reporter.
But tell me, look, so we've complained about, like, to me, there's just way too much going on from the audio side. I don't care about player interviews on this stuff in the middle of the game. Give them the mic after the game. I don't care. Do it all you want. But I did think last night was hilarious. If you guys watched the game? So there's a big third down
penalty.
Yeah, there's a 3rd down and 12. And the DC doesn't get it, and then
that is a disgusting act.
There's a flag on the play, and the refs, all the refs are mic'd up, so we're hearing this, and he goes over to the other ref, he goes, He squirted me. He squirted me with water, right? And he acted so offended at this thing that I was like, man, this is going the other way for the XFL. Like by you miking it up, we're seeing how much of a bitch this referee is. And the player had no idea that he did it. I think it's one of those things where the player gets the water bottle and isn't sure that liquid's coming
Splash
out.
zone.
So he just goes like that.
This is why in the National Football League they have professionals work the water bottle.
Oh yeah.
A player would never be squirting water into his own mouth.
That was so great.
It's like
Inappropriate squirting has no place in the extreme.
What was the flag?
League.
He squirted me with water. Like just like it makes. It's like back in like elementary school and you had like that one little bitch that was yeah.
All right, Kramer. Let's get to the picks. I can see our XFL insiders chomping at the bit. Feel free to drop some insider knowledge. When you tweet out sources, what you should start doing, J Mark, is to tweet out any of your news that first reported to you and Adam Schefter, and just include it in the tweets. It'll automatically give you some credibility.
And please also post when someone says, "Get rid of my number." Nice try, like the Rodgers move.
Yeah,
that's so. That was. Has any player told you to lose their number?
Well, I know a lot of players have reached out because we're one of the few outlets that really cover it in depth and like ask, hey, can you include me on this free agency list? Hey, take a look at my game film. Do you have any stories of guys that either ended up making the XFL or you took a look at their stuff and were like, man, this is a really cool story? Like, I know a lot of guys have reached out that actually play in the league, which is kind of a cool aspect.
We got to have Patty C send his tape into J Mark so he can get evaluated by him.
Yeah, no, that was kind of interesting because I did some articles on just kind of unknown free agents, guys that you probably don't know because they're not your run of the mill guys that could be playing in these spring leagues. Like, I mean, if you look at a guy like, no offense to Geronimo Allison, I know he's a well-known name, but he really hasn't done much in the league. And I feel like there's some guys out there that don't have that big name that could be there. So yeah, I got a lot of messages of, hey, I saw you did this list. Can you throw me on one? Can you look at this? And it's like, and especially after one of the USFL guys got picked up as a quarterback, Cole Kelly. He was on my first list. Then it really started. They're like, wow. I saw you got Cole Kelly signed. And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't get him signed.
No, you did get him signed, Jay.
If you're
you get 11% of that?
Yeah, you get a little tip.
Guys, we're 7 weeks in. 7 weeks in, still haven't had a kickoff return for a touchdown. Just want to note that the USFL had 5 of those. So what's more exciting? What's more exciting?
Will Colby be hating on the USFL in lieu of the XFL when the USFL's playing in classic Benedict?
No, you got to go USFL, man. They kickoff is way better.
Did you not see
this? Is a great take for the XFL show.
Well, the USFL they just announced it that they are adjusting the kickoff rule
to the same rule.
No,
dude, I'm not kidding.
Not possible.
No. Are we breaking news on the show?
Five kick returns for a touchdown. Look at Kevontae Turpin, Pro Bowler in the NFL. Definitely look. And this guy,
it does seem like it would be easier to return this.
Outlier.
Yeah. Freak occurrence.
Turpin was a miss by the NFL.
Oh, all
right.
Happens every day.
All right. So we're
let's talk picks.
We all had our maybe a down week last week. You know what it was? We were coming off a missed week. That's our bad. Colby has no excuses. Sean,
I went 3-1, buddy.
3-1.
Yeah.
The sheet says you went 1 and Colby wasn't on the show. I gave
thank you. I went 3-1, buddy.
I gave Colby CJ's horrible.
The only game I got wrong was Rod Woodson.
I went 2-2. Again, I'm 12-8 overall. My lock percentage is still 80%, which is historic.
My lock percentage is the same as the Sea Dragons, which I would have won last week or the week we missed. Anyway, yeah, I'm still 14-6 overall, Sean. But
nip it at your heels.
We have more weeks to talk about. Let's pick some games. Seattle, the Sea Dragons, they're heading all the way to Arlington. No, I'm just joking. They don't travel for this one. Arlington catching 4.5 at home. Will Luis Perez play? I don't think that helps them learning a new system in such short order. Plus 165 on the money line. Minus 195 for the Sea Dragons. 37.5 is the total. Why is this short of a touchdown?
Well, this is Well, because you have Ben DiNucci as the Seattle Sea Dragons quarterback, who they should have covered against the Renegades, but of course, the Nooch knows what the spread is, and he knows he's got some Italian greaseball relatives that are working the book.
Fucking slander.
That are working the book, and he goes, hey, it's gonna be close. But don't worry, the Nooch has got you. So he intentionally throws. I mean, that interception into the end zone. That was again. I could thread that needle. Look at my performance at the NFL Experience. J. Mark, what do you make of my theory that Ben DiNucci is very openly tanking these games against the spread?
I think he's just a risk taker, and he makes some dumb mistakes. I don't know if there's any tanking on purpose there, but you got to mention too, though, he threw a touchdown to Josh Gordon that just bounced right off of Gordon's hands. It should have been a touchdown.
And explain.
Thank you for bringing that up.
As an insider, explain the dynamic, because the week before there was a play where it seemed like Gordon had just stopped running. Essentially, DiNucci threw one of his patented DiNucci interceptions, but that one, honestly, I would say wasn't his fault.
Coach, get him off the field.
He goes, get him off the field. What have you heard about the chemistry issues plaguing this Sea Dragons team?
Yeah, there's a big issue there. I think Gordon is cooked. I hate to say it, because obviously this is a guy that had a ton of talent. But I don't think he cares. It's unfortunate to see, but I see a guy out there every play that doesn't care, and that bothers a guy like DiNucci, who I think really does care. He really does.
Well, and it's tough. If you're not going to care about the NFL, it's going to be tough to care about the XFL, and that's where Josh.
Well, but the problem is he's in a receiver room where everyone's trying to become an NFL player, and
Except
it's like, dude, this guy, that could be another person's roster spot. That could be the next Kevontae Turpin.
Does he get cut before the end of the season?
Maybe.
I mean, when's the last time Josh Gordon was on a roster to end the season?
If he finishes the season on the Sea Dragons.
I can't imagine he's finished the roster on a season in the past.
No, he hasn't.
I'll say this though, with this game, the Renegades, obviously Perez is a huge upgrade, even though they cut Kyle Sloter. Sloter Sundays maybe back in the USFL. Then getting Victor Bolden, who was the MVP of the USFL, is huge. But my problem is, their O-line is awful. So will the O-line be able to get improved? They need to somehow rig some trades where they get a better offensive line. I do think at some point though the offense will click more. I don't know that it'll be here. I'm on the Sea Dragons.
And you mentioned Arlington pretty much on a collision course for a game against DC in the playoffs. If they hold on to the spot, that would be a bloodbath. I was watching the Monday night game, the highlights from the Monday night game before the show. I mean, DC. I'm saying the same thing I said last week. DC is the only good team in the league.
Well, what do they have? They have balance. They have a great offensive line, and Greg Williams is a fucking beast.
Well,
I mean, Greg Williams really found his
real
league
coaching.
Here.
Yeah,
we talked about the head coach.
Well, this is where your real coaches come out, when you have everyone's got the same talent level from team to team.
What was our?
You know
anyway,
what I mean?
So obviously I'm on Seattle again. You can, I don't want to ruin the end of the show, but potential lock here. I hear Sean's alleged claims of Italian American involvement in the outcome of these obviously not fixed sporting events.
Colby, what are you doing? Are you on the Renegades?
No, I can't. Their offense is so bad. Even though they get Perez and stuff, I think that the Arlington offensive line is terrible, dude.
The Brahmas,
it's the worst offensive line in the league.
The game last week was, I would say even in bite size of just catching a highlight package that was 15 minutes long, rough to watch.
Yeah.
And the only positive things that happened in that game were because the other team gave it up.
The defense is not bad, but
now is this? I didn't realize this is a Friday night.
Yeah,
game.
We got Friday night action.
Friday night lights.
And for some stupid reason, they also said, "Hey, let's play 2 games on Saturday while the Final Four is going on."
Compete against the Final Four. Smart, savvy.
Well, they do play. They play one of their games before the Final Four, but not the other one. It's very confusing.
It's wouldn't you just load up on Sunday?
J. Mark, what are you doing here?
Yeah, so the Perez thing confuses me because he's not good under pressure, and now you're putting him on a team where the quarterback
and it's a short
always
week.
be
it's
under
a
pressure.
short week. Yeah, you got to go Seattle.
Yep, agreed. Seattle 4.5. I'm seeing. you got to ride with them. I think this Arlington team is a mess, despite adding Perez and Bolden. I think they're a mess. So yeah, give me Seattle.
Yeah, I mean, not to continue to hammer it, but coaching seems to matter in these things. And that was a smart game time. So give the XFL a little credit. Maybe look into doing that on the regular. Saturday morning, 10 a.m. I don't hate this time. Again, the Final Four doesn't start till 3:00 on the West Coast. This is 10 a.m. on the West Coast. The San Antonio Brahmas catching 3 points here on the road against the Vegas Vipers. Vipers minus 145. Brahmas plus 125. 38.5 is the total.
Well, this is interesting because I mean Vegas kind of bottomed out last week at home, only putting up 6 against the Battlehawks. Brahmas got a win, albeit an ugly win, and neither team seems to have an offense that can do much right now. I mean, Brahmas 10 points and 50. They have 25 points combined in the last couple weeks. Before I don't think have the Brahmas scored. Okay, they put up 30 against Orlando, but other than that, every other game they haven't scored 20 points.
But should Vegas be favored?
I know that's the other thing.
Vegas got rid of their best player, Perez. They traded him for a linebacker that's never played a snap.
But Huntley, what do you make of this one, J Mark? Because on one side, I don't think the Vegas Vipers should be favored, although it's hard to take the Brahmas on the road. But I think I'm going to talk myself into the Brahmas because their defense, I think, probably going to be the best unit on the field. How do you see this matchup?
Yeah, I agree with that. The defense is going to be good. Vegas's defense allowing 136 rush yards per game. I think San Antonio is just going to rely on the run. That's the one thing they can do. I know Colby's like none of the teams rely on the run, but that's one of the things San Antonio can do, and I think they will do. I also think you're going to see an improvement in the quarterback play for San Antonio. Kind of last minute, they determined, oh, this guy's going to be out, so we're throwing these two in. Juwan Pass, Kirk Benker. I think they're going to play better with some more time, kind of preparing as the starter. So yeah, give me San Antonio here.
Thank you, Hines Ward. Hines Ward, who I remember him playing quarterback at Georgia, and he goes and I got it. Jack Cohn got injured apparently, but Juwan Pass he put back there. He only threw for 56 yards. But in this league, where the quarterback play, with the exception of 2 quarterbacks, has been terrible. Why not put a guy capable of throwing the same bad passes as Jack Cohn, but yet can run for first downs? I saw Juwan Pass have like a 15-yard run, and I go, thank you. If any of these teams, if they really wanted the competitive edge,
the Brahmas won against the Arlington Renegades by 6 points, in spite of throwing for only 59 yards. That's insane.
Put an athlete back there, make the defense sweat out whether because if you're still capable of throwing the same pass as Cohn, why not put an athlete back there? They also signed Kurt Benkert, who I know played bad, but he was signed on Friday, I feel like. So I feel like he is automatically better than Jack Cohn. This guy was just in the NFL and a former East Carolina Pirate, so they're definitely going to win it all. You got to take the Brahmas here. Their defense is good. Vegas is just Vegas. Rod Woodson, come on, put this guy in the old folks home.
Why are you so? You're very angry about Rod Woodson.
I've never seen that on any level of football, where you give up 9 yards of rush or 7 yards as a team, but their leading running back 9.3 yards of rush, Abram Smith, and you just say, oh, that's we're just not going to run against this. Why would you not? Are you not trying to win the game? Do they? How does it work for the XFL draft next year? Is he tanking in the XFL?
They haven't said yet, but maybe. What shocks me, I know he's in the CFL now, and Colby will know I probably talk about this guy too much, but when you look at like Paxton Lynch, Jack Cohn, even Drew Plitt, Kyle Slaughter, you're telling me Brian Scott wouldn't have been a better option than any of these guys? Come on.
I still think Slaughter's all right. He was just on the worst offensive line. And I think that's a perfect example. And I want to ask you this, J Mark. You were harsh on Jordan Tamu this season because of last year he was on the Tampa Bay Bandits in the USFL, and that offensive line was trash and he was terrible. He looked great last night, looked like Broadway Joe back there for the defenders. and I think that's strictly based on the offensive line. I think he's solid if he has protection, and much like Kyle Slaughter, who I know is looking for a home right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. Tamu has shown more promise with a good offensive line and a good run game. it does make a huge difference. So yeah, I was harsh on him. I'll continue to be harsh on him, but I agree. He's looking better.
Hey, speaking of looking better, you can't look any better when you got your Shady Rays on. Love my Shady Rays sunglasses. These things are just awesome. Again, whatever you're doing, we got that event over at Stadium Swim coming up, Ryan. You know we're going to be rocking our Shady Rays, sitting there by the pool doing some snorkeling for some pics. And again, I'm always nervous taking nice sunglasses to Las Vegas because, again, you have a couple cocktails. It's easy to forget your sunglasses near the pool, or if you're on the lake, it's easy to lose them. If you lose or break your pair, even on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair. No questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after the purchase. Again, these things are just badass. The polarized lenses, so good. Love me some Shady Rays. And like us, they're an independent company that offers a world-class product. Make sure you head over to shadyrays.com. Use that promo code SGPN for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 200,000 people.
We should. I almost feel like we should see about having some Shady Rays with us at the Circa. You know, some come by, maybe have an opportunity to win a pair.
Give out some. Yeah, I like that.
That seems like the kind of promotion that we could get into, right next to the snorkeling mask, right? Which, by the way, I've thought about it. Riding on a snorkeling mask can give you what I'm just making a joke about wearing it, not actually riding a snorkeling mask before.
Once again, that'd be another great XFL name, the Snorkelers.
It would be hard. It would be hard to breathe if someone was riding on your snorkeling.
Seattle
mask.
Snorkelers better than Sea Dragons.
All right, let's move along to the game. Again, do you think they were maybe not aware of when the Final Four was going to start? 3 p.m. on the West Coast. When the first Final
this
Four
will be
game
fun
starts.
because we're going to be watching the Final Four here at the studio. YouTube.com/Sports Gambling Podcast. That subscribe button, and I'm sure we'll have a second screen going for
we'll
the
figure
XFL.
something out. Well, Colby has given me enough notes over the years on how to improve the studio, so maybe we can figure out a second TV in here. The DC Defenders. I mean, and that's the thing is why are you going to bury your best team against the Final Four? DC Defenders.
Some would argue your only team, although it seems like probably the worst game of the week as far as competitive.
I don't know. San Antonio Vegas might be. I mean, for competitive, but as far as like quality football, that one might be.
The Saturday morning game is the shittiest game by far.
It'll be ugly, but it'll be close.
At least with DC, you're going to watch them just curb stomp the Guardians. DC laying 9.5, just like the Sea Dragons were last week. Might have only been 9. Orlando plus 350, DC minus 435. 44 is the total. I mean, DC.
We keep joking about the Guardians, and they're covering, but barely. These 8.5, these big spreads they're covering, and I'm worried about a possible letdown spot for the Defenders because they had a nice win over the Roughnecks in prime time Monday Night Football. Now you got a short week. You played Monday. Now you're playing Saturday. You don't need this win. You're undefeated. Isn't it easy to look past this Guardians team?
It is, and hear me out, because look, the Guardians are plus 15,000 over at on DraftKings. All right, I'm sorry, on somewhere. And
Colby's new to the show. Kramer, beat that out.
Yeah, and
it's really annoying.
42 minutes in.
The Guardians, though, they can in a way, if they can just pull off an upset here or week 10, they play the 2 teams ahead of them the next 2 weeks. So they could, if they could just find a way to get a win, or week 10 against St. Louis, because St. Louis might rest their starters because they'd already have clinched. Orlando's live. They're moving the ball, Sean. They're live. Terrell Buckley, maybe they have 10 guys on the field, but damn it, they're moving the ball.
So if they lose this game, though, they're officially eliminated from playoff contention. I mean,
impressive to be 100.
No, I don't think so. Right? I think
J-Mark.
I think they would be, right?
No, they need because they're still 3 weeks after. If the other teams lose, if Arlington loses to Seattle,
I don't know why you're trying to figure this out. I'm sure J-Mark has the answer.
Yeah, J-Mark. What do we look at? What kind of playoff implications? I mean, I would almost rather take the Vegas Vipers at 100-1 than the Guardians at 150-1. Both are losers, but if I had to choose, I'm taking a team that's favored this week and has already won a game. J-Mark, how say you?
Yeah, I would take the Guardians instead because the Vipers aren't catching up to
I guess
DC.
your point is like as far as getting into the playoffs, they're only 3 games back.
Vegas is in the north.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. You're right. 'Cause they have the
yeah.
Dragons and the Battlehawks. All right, you bullied me into it. I'm with you. Do we get a Guardians 150 to 1
Why
future?
not?
I mean, I certainly. You guys are crazy.
Crazy
I mean,
like a fox.
I mean, I think the prices are prop. I mean, the team that are why is. Yeah, I guess one of those teams has to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
and get their shit.
Now
pushed
they're
in by
doing
DC.
everything to help out Arlington. The league is by giving them all this talent. So maybe they just sit back and ride with Arlington.
So, well, obviously, I've made my DC is just going to continue to roll. I guess at some point maybe they consider resting starters for the playoffs, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to continue to lay the points against the Guardians. Don't care. And DC fans, maybe bring the beer snake down to Orlando. Right, it's a vacation destination. Wife and kids can go to the fucking Disney World, and you can.
J-Mark, any reason to take the Guardians here? I realize they're a much worse team, but
do you know what defense allows the most passing yards per game right now?
I'm guessing the Guardians.
DC.
DC.
Oh, wow, really?
DC's a lot. I know Greg, as Colby would say, Williams has been a really good defensive coordinator, but they're allowing the most passing yards per game. Yeah, a lot of it is garbage. I agree with that. Dormady, since taking over, they've passed for 273 yards per game. It's hard for me. I want to take DC, but that's a lot of points, and I think they are going to garbage and sneak back in here. I'm going to go with the Guardians to cover. I'm not going to get crazy and say they're going to win.
I like it. I'm with you. Let's go Guardians.
I'm on the Guardians too, but look, this is the reason why they're last. Is they've played much better teams, and when you've played June Jones and AJ Smith and all these other guys, when you're life in the South in the XFL, it's like you're playing these trash ass offenses every week, so it pads your defensive numbers. Once again, back to my point a couple weeks ago with the Roughnecks being a little bit of fool's gold.
Wow. Okay. They're in the playoffs though.
Of course, they're the only good team in the South, but
Vegas put up 333 passing yards against them. I wouldn't call Vegas a good team.
With Perez, though, they were putting up numbers, man. He did it the very next week.
All right. Last game. This again, don't hate the time here, 11 a.m. on Sunday morning. So all you're doing is competing against the NBA, which
this is a heater.
Yeah, and I like this better than an NBA game right now. St. Louis, the Battlehawks, they're catching 3 against the Houston Roughnecks. Plus 135 on the money line. Houston minus 155. 43.5 is the total. Houston is also a good team. I know Colby tried to throw some shade there, talking about the softness of their division. That's also true.
It made them look a lot better than they are. They're still easily the best team in the South.
But now I think they're catching a team that is a little inflated from the North, and they're at home, and they're just being given the standard 3 points. Come on,
they're
not
coming off back-to-back losses. I still thought they played a decent game against DC. I mean, if it wasn't for a pick 6, I think they're right in that game. I guess for me, the biggest question though is who's getting the start. J-Mark,
they got a little controversy
at the quarterback because Cole McDonald came in, looked good, had that 85-yard touchdown. It was a bit of a broken play, but certainly jump started the offense. Also had 6 carries for 37 yards. The Roughnecks have really kind of struggled to find their own here on offense. Silvers has had some moments where he looks okay, but 60, threw for 111 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Who do you think gets the start for the Roughnecks?
Yeah, that's tough. I think they should start Cole McDonald because St. Louis has been getting better at getting after the quarterback, and that's where Cole McDonald is going to give Houston the advantage by being able to evade the rush there. Whether they do that or not, I mean, to me, it's almost after Cole came in, he looked good. It's almost hard to go back to Brandon Silvers now because A, he knows he just looked bad and got replaced. And B, he doesn't evade that pressure as well. So I think they go with Cole here. That's what I would do.
Guys, we saw this. Remember Wade Phillips when he was coach of the Broncos in '92? He tried to start Tommy Maddox over Elway, right? remember when he went Rob Johnson over Doug Flutie with the Bills?
Uh-oh.
This is a classic case of the wrong quarterback hasn't been starting all year.
I think he's on a short leash. And again, Houston lost back-to-back games, but they were tough spots. They were in Seattle on a short week, and then in DC, where no one goes in and gets a win. Defenders.
Coming
this
back
is the
home.
ultimate bounce back spot at home. I love that defense to get it done against AJ McCarron.
Classic situational handicap here. And you told us about the coaches or the former players coaching. Not a good look.
Not a good look, but Tony Meatball is the best one out of them.
Why?
And
it's variance
because their team looks. I was impressed with them last week.
It's
man.
the rah-rah.
I was really impressed with them, and
because they have the right. It's the right amount of rah-rah, just like Jeff Saturday, and they have the right players on the roster. Turns out AJ McCarron might be a decent leader in the line.
Yeah, well, what happens when the South plays the North? They get the tar beaten out of them, and that's why the Battlehawks
depends where you went to high school.
Are gonna caca. Yeah. I think you got to take St. Louis right now. Look, ever since Kirkland got injured with the Roughnecks, that passing attack has not been nearly as good. The pass defense I thought looked really bad against DC. I think St. Louis might be able to take advantage of that. What's going on with Brian Hill though? That injury looked like it might be for quite a while. Is that, do you know anything about that, J Mark?
And I don't yet. So far from what I've heard, they expect him to be able to play, but that's all I know. We'll see.
Leading rusher, 317 yards on the season.
Yeah, I'm still taking St. Louis
right?
though. I think St. Louis is the more complete football team.
All right, good luck.
Let's go.
So we're all on Houston except for you, J Mark. Who do you have?
I got St. Louis. I think I agree. They're the better team, and the way you hurt St. Louis is by running the ball. Houston's not been able to run the ball the past two games. Borgie's only having 2.18 yards per carry.
He's a touchdown machine, Borgie.
Yeah, he is. And then St. Louis's offensive line is back and healthy again. They have some guys that came back from injuries. They have one guy that came back from suspension. They played much better last week. I think they are, at the beginning of the season, I said I thought this was the best team in the trenches. I think they're going to start showing that. I like them to win this game by quite a bit, actually. I think they're going to embarrass Houston.
Houston, like I said, they're living off of that.
Look out.
To me, when a lot of every team is kind of doing the same offense. So when you have a team like DC or St. Louis, which I feel like is probably the closest thing to DC, they have an advantage because you don't practice against that. Like everyone else is practicing against their own air raid-ish run and shoot offenses. So when they play these other teams, they don't know how to respond to them. So I think DC and St. Louis are probably, arguably two of the best teams in the league. Maybe Seattle you throw in there. Or I don't know where you would put Houston, but I just feel like we get so much of the same offense with the Roughnecks. Now they're a better version of it, but I think that's why they lose this game.
Going back to that futures discussion, like Houston's not even safe in the playoffs. If they lose this game, they'll be 4-3.
Yeah.
And I mean, they still have a road game against the Renegades. They still have a road game against the Brahmas, who would be coming. All right, real quick. I think it would be reckless. What are the Brahmas price right now? Only 15 to 1. I don't know. I gotta wrap my brain
like
away.
that
How do
angle.
you fade the rough? I mean,
Brahmas can get in the
Hold
playoffs.
on.
They're putting an athlete at quarterback.
Brahmas are definitely interesting, just because
they're only 15 to 1. But the play, like two teams have to make it from that division.
They've gotten smarter though, because they have them at 15 to 1, which they're not in the playoffs right now. They got to beat the Vipers probably here, which is crazy because the Brahmas are 15 to 1, Vipers are 100 to 1, and the Vipers are favored by 3. That's how wacky this fucking league is.
The worst.
Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna stay with Houston, but I think that futures conversation's interesting.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm a Leach guy.
I like
through
Houston.
and through.
Let's go.
Unlike these assholes.
Let's go. All right, time to unsheath our swords. Time for a lock and a dog. J Mark, you're the guest. We'll put you on first. XFL Insider. Make sure you check out his new feed, the old fashioned football feed. Again, fantasy and whiskey, if you like that. And happy birthday to your wife as
Thank
well.
you.
Shout out to her, co-host in there. So give us your lock and your dog, J Mark.
Yeah, and just real quick, join us 4-4. We got a former NFL player as a guest, and then 4-11, we got a master distiller from Savage and Cook joining us. So, going to be pretty cool stuff.
Just real quick on the whiskey side, make sure they all understand the
kick it upstairs.
Yeah, the address
We
of the
take
studio
samples.
for the tribute.
Yeah.
For the tribute, you know.
Bar's getting a little dry here, J-Mar. Come on.
Fair enough. I'll let everybody know. Everybody I'm talking to be like, if you could send samples here and there.
little taste, please.
Yeah. I'm going to lock up the Sea Dragons.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think Arlington is a bad team. I think Seattle's a good team. It seems pretty simple to me.
That's awesome.
Well played.
Handicapping.
Well played.
Who's your dog?
Oh, my dog. I'm going to take St. Louis. I don't know why they're the underdog here. I think they're a better team. So yeah, give me the Battlehawks.
That seemed like a simple handicap. And I liked how J Mark stood with Italian Americans in support of Ben DiNucci.
DiNucci.
Look, he also used my system, Sean.
Which is what? Always lock up the Sea Dragons.
Always lock up the Sea Dragons. You never know what a sea dragon might do to you. I mean, they still haven't found that Loch Ness monster. Come on. We then
He's probably hanging out with flight MH370.
Oh, wow.
Watch that documentary.
Did you got on
It's
board with that, huh?
Yeah, it was interesting documentary. Yeah.
What really happened, Sean?
Probably the Russians shot it down.
Yeah, I mean,
the flight. Yeah.
That's usually what it is.
just like they did the college experience. They shot
yeah,
that down over there. They zapped that thing
They're
out.
taking down all the high profile targets using the heavy artillery.
That's a great meme. the shooting one of them a missile, but
It misses Ukraine and hits the college experience logo.
Yes.
Fucking Ruskies.
Yeah, I'll dog up the Brahmas. I mean, like you said, Vegas laying 3 and they're
Well
100
played.
Yeah, thank you,
played.
Colby. It's not my first time, as you know, 14-6 on the season.
Oh,
we were discussing that
flex.
I'm with you, Kramer. I'm taking the Brahmas as my money line. Oh man, do I want to take the Dragons? But DiNucci, you know this slick back son of a bitch is gonna win by 4.
You
That's what I'm
motherfuckers almost died because potatoes got rotten.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
mistakes were made.
Come on,
We're not fixing any
your
games.
food identity is fucking cabbage. Not even
Oh, come on! Don't assault cabbage, right?
cabbage and the
noodles?
worst cut of the fucking cow with all the
Cabbage
fat
and
on it.
noodles. It's the best.
Disgusting.
Corned beef. Delish.
Blood pudding.
Blood pudding is gross. I've had
Fuck
that.
off. Get some fucking
I'm
chicken
taking-
parmesan.
I'm taking
Some
Houston.
gabagool.
I'm taking Houston -3. I can't have the same card as
that's
Kramer. I'm trying to
horrible
win some
lie.
money here.
Horrible lie.
Colby, what do you got?
I mean, it's already been said, man. Seattle's the lock.
It's already been said.
And the Brahmas are the live dog.
This is the way, Colby.
Yeah. This is.
Keep
the
your
way.
helmet on.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Brahmas. Wait, so Brahmas +3 is your lock, and then
No. Seattle's my lock.
Yeah, come
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
Just copy my cells and put them in there.
And then the Brahmas, are the money line play there.
like it. So J Mark, where can people check you out? Social media, plug the shows. Let's go.
Yeah, find me at JMark Football. I post everything there. Follow the Old Fashioned Football at Old Fashioned FB.
yes.
And then you can find me at XFL Gambling Podcast, Old Fashioned Football Podcast, and NFL Gambling Podcast.
Awesome. Love it. And of course, make sure you smash that subscribe button. YouTube.com/sportsgambling podcast, coming to you live all day Saturday from opening tip till the last shot in the Final Four. Going to be a hell of a watch party. Going to crack a couple cocktails, give out some prizes. It's going to be a grand old time over there. And sportsgamblingpodcast.com/golf party. Get in for your chance to win a 3-night stay at the beautiful Circle Las Vegas and Stadium Swim.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan
Enjoy your gazebo, Colby.
Kramer. Let it ride.